Right guys, today I'm going to be reacting to videos where Peter is also the victim. So, Maturin is realising that Peter is the victim too. So this video is by Snipesnap, but I'm just reacting to it because I want to see where Peter's the victim with you guys. So here we go.
When you were a 6-year-old kid, did you bottle up your feelings and emotions? Or did you do the opposite, like Perfect Peter, and cry over absolutely anything?
Oh God.
What's going on? Peter, talk to me. Resilience? That's not a word in Perfect Peter's vocabulary. But
Mum doesn't give it that.
What if Perfect Peter's the real
Mum
victim
doesn't
of the show,
give
not Horrid Henry? After all, school bullies take advantage of him.
Welcome to our fine school. If there's anything you need, all you have to do is ask. Great, give me your pudding then. Of course, it's full of sugar anyway.
The bully, Bossy Bill, then humiliates Peter further.
Hey, Bossy Bill? Thanks, Peter. These cats seem to so bad, you know. So very right.
It's not just bullies that have it in for Peter too. Like Henry, he's a victim of the parents.
Henry is fast asleep in bed, which is where you should be, Peter.
I am so disappointed in you, Peter.
Peter, are you responsible for this?
Like Henry, he's a victim.
Oh yeah, I watched that one last night. I watched that one
You
last
wrote
night.
those notes? Yes.
Henry, you horrid boy. Peter, detention.
But for Peter, it gets even darker. He's a victim of Horrid Henry himself.
You won't cut too much off, will you?
Of course not. You can open your eyes now.
When I was a kid, I was thinking that Perfect Peter was the victim. Henry was a nasty bully, Peter the saint-like figure who could do no wrong. Then the narrative switched. Tweets appeared, articles were posted, videos were made declaring the opposite. Henry was the real victim of the show and Peter, he was in on it. But what if both narratives are wrong? What if the truth isn't what we first thought or now think? What if it's something totally different? What if Horrid Henry is actually the story of Peter the victim? Let's investigate. Not just the TV show, but the books too. Maybe we'll find out that Peter isn't perfect, making his nickname not a blessing, but a curse. Part 1. Peter's impossible parents' expectations. Peter's emotional devastation, whenever punished, reveals his vulnerability to impossible parental expectations. Take the episode Horrid Henry and the King of Bling. Peter was banned from watching TV for an entire week because he ordered a bling ring using Mum's phone, despite getting Dad's absent-minded approval.
All I did is when Dad, excuse me, Worm, I'm talking. Dad, can I use Mum's mobile phone?
Yes, of course you can, Peter. Just put that in.
What? Thanks, Dad.
Peter genuinely believed that he had permission, but because Henry constantly occupies his parents' attention, Peter ends up in serious trouble.
I ordered it on Mum's mobile phone. DJB showed me how to.
You use Mum's mobile phone.
You said I could.
What's nothing, Peter? No TV for a whole week.
Hit subscribe for more over-the-top, in-depth Horrid Henry analysis. Thank you. Back to the video. Imagine the confusion and stress Peter must feel, striving to be perfect, yet punished for innocent misunderstandings. Another example is Horrid Henry's smelly stuff. Peter works together with Henry to sell homemade perfume at school, showing quite the entrepreneurial spirit.
Yeah, come on, please. I said we'd be rich.
But Miss Battleaxe, she don't like the cut of Henry and Peter's jib. How dare they show creativity?
Quite the little entrepreneurs, aren't we? I'll have that. And in return, you shall both have detention after school.
Oh, please. No, we can't be late. My mum and dad are going out for their anniversary dinner.
Oh, dear. Double detention.
Even when Peter attempts to meet expectations, he faces impossible setbacks. In Horrid Henry's fairy dance, Peter is tricked by Henry into climbing a tree at night, hoping to see fairies.
You're too much of a smelly, nappy baby to stay up and see the fairies. Oh, I really do want to see the fairies. Okay, let's do it. Yes.
When he inevitably gets stuck, Mum and Dad, rather than comforting him, express disappointment for his mistake.
What are you doing up there? I was looking at the fairies.
Don't be ridiculous.
Look what you've done.
Peter isn't allowed room for errors. Perfection is his only accepted standard. Because Peter, he isn't perfect. The name is misleading. An example is Horrid Henry and the Best Boys Club sleepover. After Henry and the Best Boys decide to raid a fridge, Peter acknowledges that they are being badly behaved.
That
goes well, until the ceiling decides to cave in, that is.
Make way for the meanest pirates in the land! Avast
You immediately.
And no more sleepovers for either of you, ever!
This shows that Peter's good treatment is conditional on him behaving well. If he ever slipped, he'd become an outcast like Henry, and Peter is if he's going to let that happen to him. The fact that there's this much pressure on a 6-year-old to be perfect, well, it's only going to cause Peter mental health problems as he gets older. Mistaken identity also victimizes Peter. In Horrid Henry's school trip, Peter is mistakenly taken to the naughty children's room because he wore the same shirt as Henry, the actual culprit.
He's in here somewhere.
There he is! Oh no!
Gotcha.
What? It's the naughty children's room for you. Oh, there must be some mistake. Peter's been a perfect little angel all day.
Mom, this is definitely the boy. We recognise his t-shirt.
But I haven't done anything! Miss Lovey!
Innocent Peter endures humiliation and punishment simply for being linked to Henry. Part 2. Henry's bullying of Peter. Henry's bullying towards Peter isn't just teasing, it's emotional abuse and outright criminal at times. In the episode Who Saw Mr. Kill, Henry spirals into rage over his missing teddy, accusing everyone around him. However, his aggression towards Peter is especially alarming. Storming into Peter's room, Henry physically intimidates Peter.
We never did find Stinky again. All thanks to you, you snivelling toad. So, where is Mr. Kill?
Things start to escalate fast.
Well, if you're not going to tell me, I'll have to use force.
Are you kidding me? I got a flipping advert.
Scrolling for hours to find product inspiration? Why not do it in seconds with AI? This is
Peter begs and pleads for mercy, to no avail.
I haven't touched his body! What are you doing? You leave that alone!
Henry ultimately cuts the strings of Peter's cello, his one outlet for self-expression. Peter's trauma is completely ignored once the truth emerges. Mr. Kill was simply being washed by Mum. In Horrid Henry Gets Rich Quick, Henry's greed drives him to literally sell Peter as a servant.
For a bargain of £1.50 for 2 days!
It's cool having someone doing just what I want.
Why do I only get 20p if Ralph gave you £1.50? Expenses. Now run along with your new owner.
Peter eventually becomes Margaret's servant, subjected to constant humiliation and forced labour. Desperate and exploited, Peter ends up paying Henry his pocket money to end the ordeal.
Henry, have you come to rescue me? No, can't. Deal's a deal. Please, I'll do anything. You can keep the 20p. I'll pay you 50.
I'm not saying that Henry isn't a victim. He is, but it doesn't excuse the way that he treats his younger brother. Part 3. Peter and Stockholm Syndrome. Despite this horrific abuse, Peter is actually kind to Henry on multiple occasions. Thank you to the Reddit user, Ariana Iscats, for compiling this list. Rehabilitating Perfect Peter. Rehabilitation moment 1. When Peter believed that Henry was going to die from the Golden Gizmo curse, he broke down in tears, he begged him not to die, and he ended up blaming himself for it all.
Henry, I don't want you to die. Save.
Rehabilitation moment 2. Even after Henry shaved Peter's hair off at the start of the episode, Peter still handed over all his Halloween sweets without hesitation.
Believe me? Good. That's good. Here you are, Henry. Oh, thanks, Peter.
Rehabilitation moment 3. Peter once called Henry his hero while remembering the time that Henry saved him. A rare but touching moment.
Don't be horrid, Henry. Look, you've made Peter cry again. I warned you. No, Mummy. Look, bad doggy. You saved me. You're my hero.
Rehabilitation moment 4. Peter was genuinely worried when Henry faked having a stomachache during the Sports Day episode, showing once again that Peter genuinely does care.
Oh, poor Henry. Oh, well, expect you'll live.
Rehabilitation moment 5. In the class action episode, Peter didn't just support Henry, he ran an entire campaign on his behalf. And finally, rehabilitation moment 6. During the Measly mascot episode, Peter played a key role in helping Henry win that cup. A role that was so important, it was even acknowledged by Horrid Henry himself.
Thanks, by the way, Worm. You owe me bling time, Henry. I know I do. Why did you decide to help me and not stuck up Steve? Oh, that's easy. Because you're my big brother, of course.
Peter Yarla officially rehabilitated. Congratulations! Even after everything Henry puts him through, Peter's loyalty borders on tragic. Proof that sometimes the sweetest victims are the ones who don't even realise that they're suffering. Part 4. Peter's a victim in the books, too. Even the original books established Peter as a tragic victim. not only of Henry's bullying, but of sky-high parental expectations. In the very first Horrid Henry book, the parents compare Henry unfavourably to Peter. Whilst this is really depressing for Henry, as he's being compared unfavourably to his little brother, it's also pretty nasty for Peter because, think about it, he's now been given impossible, unattainable standards to live up to. Perfect Peter always used a hanky and never ever picked his nose. "Why can't you be perfect like Peter?" said Henry's mum every day. As usual, Henry pretended not to hear. He continued melting Peter's crayons on the radiator. Peter internalizes his frustrations, repressing his emotions to maintain that perfect persona. Peter was very sad to be late for Cub Scouts, but because he was perfect, Peter did not whine or complain. When Peter finally expresses his natural anger, he faces severe repercussions. This shows that he must either conform to perfection or face harsh exclusion. "I would love some cake, thank you," said Henry. Perfect Peter could stand it no longer. He picked up his plate and aimed it at Henry. Then Peter threw the spaghetti. Henry ducked. Splat! Spaghetti landed on Mum's head. Tomato sauce trickled down her neck and down her new yellow fuzzy sweater. "Peter," yelled Mum and Dad. "You horrid boy," yelled Mum. "Go to your room," yelled Dad. Perfect Peter burst into tears and ran to his room. Similarly, in another book, Henry scares Peter into accidentally breaking china plates. Yet it is Peter who is unfairly blamed and punished without explanation. Then Peter noticed all the dirty teacups and plates piled up on the worktop. He had never done the washing up all by himself before. Mum and Dad would be so pleased. Peter carefully washed and dried all the dishes. Then he stacked them up and carried them to the cupboard. "Boom!" shrieked Horrid Henry, leaping out from behind the door. Crash! Henry vanished. Mum and Dad ran in, the best china lay in pieces all over the... But, gasped Peter. In pieces all over the floor. "Peter," yelled Mum and Dad. "You horrid boy," yelled Mum. "Go to your room," yelled Dad. But, gasped Peter. "No buts," shouted Mum. "Go." "Oh, my lovely dishes." Perfect Peter ran to his room. Peter. Oh, it's a hard life being perfect. Part 5. Why did they make Peter a victim? The creator of Horrid Henry, Francesca Simon, intentionally crafted Peter's perfection as a commentary on family dynamics, illustrating how golden children like Peter suffer from pressure and expectations. In the words of Francesca Simon, "I got the idea for Horrid Henry by accident. I was chatting to a friend who asked me to write a story about a horrid child. Horrid Henry was born on the spot. I was also interested in writing about sibling rivalry and families where the parents decide that one child is good and the other bad, which is how Perfect Peter was born. I adore Perfect Peter because I'm touched by his desperate need to be good, though Henry is obviously most people's favourite. Peter's perfection is thus revealed as a survival mechanism. He's not naturally saint-like, he's just conforming to insane levels of parental pressure. Interestingly, Peter is based on Francesca Simon herself. But then again, so is Horrid Henry. In her words, "As the eldest of 4 siblings, I was a split personality. At school, I was impeccably behaved and the class SWAT. Teachers loved me and I worked hard. Then I'd get home, slam doors, shout and be horrible. I'm a mixture of both Horrid Henry and Perfect Peter. Perfect Peter, the perfect victim." In the battle between Horrid Henry and Perfect Peter, the internet has largely picked a side, that side being Horrid Henry's. But just because Peter doesn't throw tantrums or slam doors doesn't mean he isn't quietly suffering. As one user put it, "I see Henry and Peter as both treating the other badly at some points due to their parents. I really don't understand the whole demonizing one, infantilizing the other thing, when that's just what parents do." This user went even further. "Peter is 100% a victim, dude. Think about it. He never gets told no, perfect all the time, plus the expectations that get set upon him. There is an episode where Henry plays the cello better than Peter could ever do, and he did it with no training. That episode broke Peter, Imo. There's another instance where Peter fears he is going to be disowned, which seems like bad messaging from the parents, or Peter seeing the parents abuse Henry and being worried they'll do the same to him. Peter doesn't lash out because he can't. He bottles everything up to stay in his parents' good graces. That halo above his head, it ain't a sign of angelic peace. It's a pressure cooker lit. Maturing is realizing that Peter isn't perfect. He's perfectly tragic. Thank you for watching my video today. I'm Snipesnap. He's my cat Lucky. Snipe, snap, out.